Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends. Welcome to JCB Live Wine Style. We should maybe call it today Wine and Cheese Style. I'm with wonderful Kenneth. How are you, Kenneth?
Hi guys, I'm doing well. How are you, John Charles?
You're looking great and passionate and intensely in love with what?
Cheese, wine, charcuterie, everything that we offer here at Oakville Grocery. We have a great, enormous selection of everything you could think of. We have over 100 cheeses, over 50 salamis, prosciutto, olives, anything your heart desires.
Life is amazing. You come to see Kenneth, and he has an answer for everything, including today, our wonderful Côte du Rhone. So, dear friends, we selected, in this hot day, in the heart of Napa Valley, for the fun of it, and people are very intrigued out there on the patio, a magnificent Côte du Rhone. Screw cap, easy to use because you want to use your hands to really eat cheese. And this is a great wine because this is Côte du Rhone Village, which basically brings together the alchemy of the Rhone Valley. Grenache, Syrah, Cinsault, Carignan, and Mourvedre, and a few others, grape varieties. So, as we toast to Oakville Grocery, let's taste, because Kenneth, who manages the whole catering as well as Oakville Grocery, is going to show us, tell us, and demonstrate what would be good with Côte du Rhone.
Absolutely.
What do you think of the wine?
It's wonderful. I think some of those really earthy, bold flavors from the Syrah. Mourvedre is one of my favorite grapes.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's going to go very good with our Oakdale Gouda and our Salami Etna. We have two really wonderful producers just here on the West Coast. Oakdale Gouda is located about 100 miles southeast of us. They're fourth generation cheesemakers. Their family actually dates back to Holland, is where they come from. And they've been making Gouda for, as long as I can think of, So that we're doing a 1-year Gouda from them. Very wonderful, just going to pair perfectly with those healthy notes from...
I think, Kenneth, it's an invitation to try, right?
I think you should get in there.
We have as well a little Grenache, and I know you love Grenache, too.
Oh, I do, yes, absolutely.
And you like those deep Rhone varieties, whether it's in California or in the Rhone.
And yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, maybe great aromatic expression. And people really love Oakdale, which is a great little town.
It's adorable. One of the things this cheese is going to have that people love are those crystals, the crunchies. You always see people saying, what kind of cheese do you have? They come in here and they ask me, I'm looking for something with the crunch, with the salt crystals. This is going to have that. It's going to be the perfect balance of fudgy, creamy, crunchy. It's just delicious, and it's going to pair perfectly with these bold notes that the Rhone Valley has to offer.
Not always easy to pair a Côte du Rhone because of all the spices with cheese, in fact. And
absolutely,
I love the fact that you've chosen this one because of the flavor, the unctuosity, the richness. Yeah. And it's still very present with it.
Absolutely.
And I want to go back and try it. What are those lovely things?
So we have our olive oil grissini. Grissini is an Italian breadstick. It's very thin, very crispy, very crunchy. Another perfect accompaniment. Little cigar action, yeah, I like it. They're going to be the perfect side to the cheese. The cheese is going to fill your mouth up with that creamy mouthfeel, and the grissini is just going to crack right through it with that crunch that they offer. And we have those right here as well.
Outstanding. So this is the Oakville Grocery olive oil grissini.
Yes.
And grissini, dear friends, grissini si dice in Italiano. It's the real word for breadsticks, so forget about breadsticks.
The original.
And olive oil made with the olive oil of Oakville Grocery.
Yes, another one.
From Napa Valley, so that's very cool. We stay very endogenous to who we are.
Absolutely. Our store has been here for 100 years, 1881, right? So that's one of the, if not the oldest grocery store in the valley, and we would like to stray as true as we can to the area of Napa. So olive oil, there's a flour mill up the road, 20 miles, grissini, it all just comes together in such a beautiful way. Another thing Italians do really well is salami.
Yes.
So we have this wonderful salami from Olympia Provisions up in Portland, Oregon. A little further away from here, but they still do a wonderful job. They're one of the first USDA certified charcuterie producers in Oregon. And this one in particular, they do black pepper and pistachio.
Ooh, cannot wait.
So it reminds me of mortadella, right? Only because mortadella tends to have pistachio, only this has the texture of salami. So let me cut you a piece.
I would love to try. And you know, pistachio that comes from California, from what I understand. So this is very cool again. We're staying local. Pistachio are grown beautifully in the Central Valley with almonds, walnuts, today cherries, and many other wonderful products. And this is exciting because pistachio goes extremely well, I believe, with the Grenache aspect of it.
I think that's going to be the perfect pairing.
Oh, everybody's jealous. Everybody's going to call you for this.
I mean, there's only a few places in California that you can get it. Oakville Grocery and Oakville Grocery Healdsburg.
Love it. So give us
perfect.
your interpretation of the pairing, because as the catering manager as well,
Yes.
you being asked a lot to pair cheese and charcuterie with wine. You love wine, you make wine, you love beer as well.
Yep.
So you understand the flavor profile. So give us your thoughts.
Right. So some of these more
Very good.
these heavy flavors. I don't want to say heavy. These bold, earthy flavors that come from this Rhone wine are going to be balanced out by that sharpness and acidity that comes from the salami. As you know, a lot of salamis are cured and dried with cultures that cause them to have a really nice tang. This particular salami has a very rich nuttiness from the pistachio and just a slight bit of tang, which is going to kind of cut through.
That's right.
But what's really important is the fat. There's fat in salami, and that's just going to bring out the boldness and the more complex flavors of the wine.
The two are spectacular. And this is a Côte du Rhône village. So in many ways, you could think of Côte du Rhône as well going very well with mushrooms, with, of course, an omelette, as simple as that, and you put a little cheese in it.
Absolutely.
And you have a great dish, easy to prepare in the evening. So think as well of Côte du Rhône with a certain level of adventurousness. Yes. Go wild, think wild, because even though it's not very expensive, it's a great wine to pair.
Yes.
So what else shall we try?
Well, you mentioned mushrooms, and one of my favorite cheeses that I just recently found out was this Melinda made cheese by Mystic Cheese in Connecticut. So you'll look at this and you'll see that it looks like your standard table brie. It's a cow's milk cheese, soft ripened. You can see that beautiful bloomy white rind. And this has that flavor of cremini mushroom, which would benefit, it would lend itself to the Rhone. But I think the next wine is probably an even better pairing.
We have a big surprise for everyone, but you're going to have to finish your glass. And I know it's not too difficult for you.
Not with this stuff. It's good.
So before I move into the wine, how many cheese do we have at the Oakville Grocery? And number two, what makes so much fun for you to select all those great cheese?
Absolutely. One of my favorite things to do is to find cheeses from the area. We have so many wonderful milk producers in California. So much space for the cows to roam, wonderful earth for them to graze on. They make beautiful milk, which leads to beautiful cheese. We have, as of right now, we have 150 cheeses in the case.
Woo!
By Monday, we're hoping to push that past 175.
So this is one of the most complete cheese store.
Yes.
Obviously in Northern California.
Absolutely. And even though we like to showcase as much of our California producers as we can, we also don't forget about our old favorites such as Parmigiano, Pecorino Romano, Conte, Gruyere, all of the favorites that you're going to look for in a standard cheese case. But we also like to pride ourselves on finding cheese that's less easy to find anywhere else. You can't find some of our cheeses at Whole Foods or even up the street at our other friends.
Which is so exciting is you have Portuguese cheese, Belgium cheese, German. I mean, obviously the Italians, but as well we travel the world
and
with
the
cheese.
French.
And the French, needless to say.
Some of the
so
best
you could
French.
find the best Brillat Savarin, you could find obviously the Délices de Nuit, the Bourgogne, the Pommard.
Absolutely.
You could find obviously the Sumatran and all those great cheese over here. So come and see us for cheese. and charcuterie, right?
And charcuterie.
And you have pata negra, I understand.
We have pata negra. Yes, we have a Spanish one, and we actually are in discussion with a farm in Middleton who are producing their own Iberico pigs. So we're hoping that they will be producing their own jamon, which means we would be getting a jamon Iberico from, what, less than 100 miles away?
Which would be amazing.
Incredible.
You know, the jamon Iberico, the bellota, they eat black acorn.
Yes.
And they are unbelievably tender, rich, they melt on the palate. Yeah. And in fact, the next one we're going to be tasting goes very well as well.
Yeah.
With pata negra. Why? Because the next one we're going to have is very unique within the landscape of all the wines that France potentially could ever produce. When you think sherry, when you think palomino, you go in Spain, of course, and it's a very unique techniques where you basically keep the wine without topping the barrels for many, many years. In this case, it is 6 years and 3 months.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Developed a very unique bottle named the Clavelin. Look at this baby. Isn't it cute? And that bottle shape, I'm going to have you rinse, is really invented since the beginning of the Jura region. So dear friends, we're going to be tasting now. And I know you all want to do this because this is your companion to cheese. Traditionally in France, we taste it with Conte because Conte was made in the Jura region. Conte is an evolution from Gruyère in Switzerland and Emmental. And the Conte is aged 24 to 36 months and goes very well with the vin jaune. So the capital of Conte is the capital of where this wine is made, Arbois. Small village, beautiful sausage, and of course, great cheese. Right. And I'm very pleased to tell you, we very fortunately acquired Henri Maire a few years ago, led by an amazing man. The oldest vineyard was as far as 1640. And which is very cool as well is when you think of Pasteur, and we talk about pasteurization, or vaccination these days. Right. He was the man, and we own the 2 hectares that belonged to him before. Oh. So all the wines is being sold as a charity wine, okay. And we give the funds to the Pasteur Institute, and they do research with those funds. So I'm very excited about this wine because either you like it or you don't. And I need to confess, in my own family, some do like it, some don't. But it's something very intriguing, very different. So look at this incredible color that is really evolution of gold. So the wine is arriving to the winery, gently pressed, directly put in barrels for 6 years, no topping. So it gets that absolute maturation and ripeness that is very unusual.
Very developed flavor, huh?
Yes,
like
as you can tell.
That's what I'm all about.
It's your first time to try it, right?
I've never had this one before, and I gotta say, I'm a big fan of sherry.
Yes.
Big fan of Vin Jaune. This is pretty wonderful.
I'm very excited because every people who like hard cheese, so that would go very well with Gouda as well.
I would say this would be a great pairing.
But it goes very well with what you were thinking. So
well, the Melinda May is, like I mentioned, it's a very, very neutral, soft ripened cheese. The nice thing about this is sherry is a very traditional after dinner drink.
Yes.
You could totally do a little soft brie like this with some sherry, a little bit of honey maybe, and just really drive that meal home. Just end it on a wonderful note.
Shall we try it?
A little piece of this? Yeah.
For sure. I mean, looking at cheese without trying them. Ah! It's like many things I could think of, I won't say because it's too much out there. But, you know, I'm in love with cheese. I need to tell you.
Cheers.
Cheers. And I think it's very important to smell cheese as well because the aromatic expression is essential. And I want to tell you, Kenneth, I'm always shocked when people don't eat the skin. Can you talk about this?
It's the best part. People are always afraid of cheese, right? They don't want moldy cheese. It's a bad word. We don't want to hear that. But
we love mold.
The truth is, the rind on a brie is a type of mold. It's perfectly natural. There are good microbes and there are bad microbes. And when you have a cheese that has a rind like this, those good microbes make the cheese better for you. They push away the
That's
bad
right.
ones, the dangerous ones, the scary ones, and they make these really wonderful flavors and textures. Look at how just beautiful, bloomy,
I mean,
white.
Dear friend, if this is not perfection, obviously we have a little invasion because even the flies love it.
Yeah.
Look at that phenomenal skin. So don't carve in the inside and leave the skin away. Actually, the vitamins and all the great nutrients happens to be captured in the skin.
Yeah, these are all really, wonderful, naturally occurring organisms that are very good for you. They're very healthy.
Yeah.
They help promote longevity. They're good for your skin, things like that. And it's just the cheese itself, you'll notice it's very clean. It's very mild. It's not super aggressive. There are some breeds that can be very aggressive. This one is more on the mild side. It's got a little bit of that mushroomy
Can
flavor.
I confess
Let's hear it.
in front of God that He listens to me and forgive me?
Of course.
In front of the French flag, that the French flag forgives me too. I may like this cheese better than Brie. Woo! This is a big deal for a Frenchman to say. You know why? Because it's mild and at the same time has a lot of personality.
Yes. Really,
So-
really nice flavor.
This is very cool. So what else do we have here?
Well, you mentioned that there are some classic Italian cheeses that are just so wonderful. One of them is Taleggio. One of my favorite is a wash rind cow's milk cheese.
Yeah.
So there's a company it's a creamery in Indiana named Jacobs in Bridgeford. They do all their own milk, all heritage breed cows.
And look at the package. I love it because you think of cheese with no packaging and label. I've always liked that cheese as well because they got the World Cheese Award, obviously.
Yep.
They put their cow on the package.
That's right.
They give us the milk, so we might as well show how cute they are.
So this is a Marabella. It's their homage to Taleggio. It is wash rind cow's milk cheese. There's an award. You mentioned the award, the Good Food Association. They started in 2011. They won the 2015 Best Cheese for the Good Food Association. Their awards that they do.
And we're very passionate at Oakville Grocery with the Good Food Award. Why? Typically family, 2 great practices, often organic and biodynamic. Thirdly, artisan that we want to encourage. Fourth, they typically grow what they do. It could be rice, it could be corn, it could be cheese from the milk onwards. They control the process and they touch it.
Yes. They're really all about showing the love and the appreciation for these farmers and these producers that are not as popular as your standard, grocery store cheese that you might
That's
see
right.
all over. They do really, really amazing stuff.
Well, I love to look at it and I love to
there's
smell
something
it.
even better about it.
My
Look
tongue.
at that. So you can see it has that beautiful creamy
So can you?
taste. We'll do a little.
Yeah. It's better than nail polish. Look at that.
That's right.
I'm going to start to go to parties like this and just do. Oh! Oh!
It's like Taleggio, right?
I'm on my knee. I disappear.
It just has this wonderful. Wow. It looks. The orange is beautiful.
It's like a mini époisse.
Exactly. It's just so complex. So many flavors. It's not too assertive, but it is strong. It's a bold cheese. It goes really great with bold wine.
What a pick with this wine.
It's just one of my favorite cheeses that I've had.
And
They do
I
such a
bet
good
you
job.
warm it
Yes.
in a tart.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Oh.
Like a tarte aux gruyères, but a tarte with that cheese
Yes.
would be amazing.
It would
right?
just ooze.
You know what I'd like to do? I'm going to take one tonight as I have guests. I'm going to put it on fig.
Ooh.
On a fig
There you go.
and choop, put that cheese
And a nice
inside.
olive oil on top.
Perfect.
That would
Well,
be-
there's only one, the Oakville Grocery.
That's
olive
right.
oil.
We have Tuscan, unpressed, unfiltered, or cold pressed, unfiltered.
That's right. I like your jalapeno, but I think I would do
I think the
traditional.
Yeah, I think so too. A good play, like a good homage to the northern Italy,
Yeah.
and just really,
I commend you.
take some home.
Well, this is so exciting. So let's summarize. We have the grissini, molto bene, meraviglioso.
Right.
El grissini come in Italia. Ooh la la, craccante. Si dice in italiano craccante.
So we have
Dylan is
grissini.
jealous.
We offer.
And Julie just placed an order. We lucky.
Oh, she did.
Oh.
They're that good. Well, of course they are.
So we had Gouda.
Oakdale Gouda from California. Salami from Portland, Oregon. Olympia Provisions. Jacobs in Bridgeford, a Maribella. It's a Taleggio style cheese. And the contestant to Brie,
Yeah.
Melinda May from Mystic Cheese in Connecticut.
And that's the package.
And that's the package right here that comes in this beautiful square. This is actually how Taleggio is traditionally made, in this nice large square. So there's a lot of just mixing and matching going on between these companies. It's very playful, lots of homages to tradition. We wouldn't have great soft ripened cheese if we didn't have great Brie to start with. So
Yeah, that's
gotta
right.
come
But
from
it's
somewhere.
great to evolve, and that's what we love at the Oakville Groceries. We have a very world and American comparison. So you could do a cheese tray with 2 and 2 and compare the old world to the new world, or even some Asian cheese. There's a few we have. And then we paired it with the Côte du Rhone Village.
That's right.
Nice wine, not breaking the bank, but very desirable with those wonderful
Perfect
selection.
if you're having guests over.
And then now you're breaking a little more the bank, because this is really top end fine wine. We make very little amount. I believe only 10 barrels.
6 years, I mean.
That's it. We got to be patient. Called Vin Jaune from Arbois, from the house of Henri Maire. As you could see, every bottle is finished with a beautiful twist on like this with wax. And it's a bottle that is sealed to impress your friends. The cool part about Vin Jaune, you don't finish it, it's still good 2 months later. Keep it in the fridge and it's great.
Right.
Kenneth,
Cheers.
I want to thank you. We're going to see you many times on the JCB Live. This was a great presentation of wonderful cheese. Thank you so much, and come and see us.
That's right.
Oakville Grocery, and you can walk around with your glass of wine.
There you go.